stand the heat to get out the wild. When I roll into the Wild West, when I stroll into the Wild West, when I bounce into the Wild West.
Welcome everybody, it's WildWest Stacker. I hope you're having a great day. We are here on the premiere train again. It's Saturday morning. I hope everybody's having a great day. And yes, us crazy group of friends all get together. We make content every weekend and we post it in this Saturday morning premiere train. All thanks to our creator, Mad Stacker, who thought of this fun idea. It's now been several years I've been on this train. I just want to say thanks so much everybody. It's been an awesome time and it's great to just have somebody to go hang out with on a Saturday morning. Kind of like Saturday morning cartoons. Alright, so my video today is a question. Do you stack the copper? Oh yes, that beautiful CU copper. And so I'm going to go over my whole copper stack today. But just to show everybody some of my favorite pieces first. This is one of my favorite copper pieces I've ever seen. And the best part was, the guy who sold it to me gave me a great deal. I think it was like $15 is all. It was super inexpensive. Okay, so that's more of like the raw look. You can see it cut there. And so this was a rough slab. And then what they do is after they polish it up, they usually put a thin coating, like a sealant over it. I don't know if it's plastic or paint or what, but that's what's keeping it from patinaing over time. But the back has a little color going on. Super cool piece. Got to top that off with my copper trident. Trident stacking. He changes his name a lot, but he made a bunch of these. I have number 17. Again, this piece has some oxidization on it. You could see some colors kind of coming through there. But again, a really cool trident, homemade. I love it. So when I first started my stacking journey, guys, I was only focusing on the silver. That was it, not even gold. And then Pirate Stacker actually turned me on to the copper world and how this copper stuff works. And you know, I've always been respectful of copper, and I think that goes back to my home stereo and car stereo days. If you were like me in the late 90s, early 2000s installing car stereos for people, most of the cables were copper because it just was excellent. It conducted that electricity like 96% of the way silver does. So perfect material. That's now changing. Now it's only copper coated aluminum. I think they call it CCA wiring. That's the new thing. Super crazy. So let's just take a look back into a really old piece. This is one of my oldest pieces actually. It's a Roman widow's mite sized bronze coin. So it has some copper in there. You can't really see too many details in it. It is really worn down. Definitely a head there on the front, but a cool piece just to show that, you know, the brass, the copper, it was once respected. And look at how small of a piece that is too. I mean, that is a very small coin, like the size of our current dime maybe, very thin. All right, so let's first get into my collectibles, more or less. And so I got this cool box here, and if you notice that 5-ouncer, I did pick up a bunch of these when they were on sale. They were $9.99 for the 5 ounces, and so I picked up a bunch of these. I don't know, I've given away a couple as gifts, like gave one to my dad. It's kind of funny when you give copper as a gift because people have no idea what to do with it too. They're like, well, what do I do? I'm like, just enjoy it. Let it tone over time, or you could put it in a capsule. Jeez, I got quite a few of those, huh? So I have a lot of the 5-ouncers. I thought I had one. Okay, so I do have at least one I put in the capsule. So I tried to find a good one. And then look, this is not my thumbprint. That is somebody at the mint. And that is Golden Statement. So somebody down there in Florida left their greasy paw print on this copper. Kind of funny because this one passed their test, I guess, for good coins. I'll show you guys what I mean by secondary coins here shortly. Let's see here. Ooh, there's kind of the matching, the 1-ounce version. So you got 1 ounce and a 5 ounce. And very different backs. Copper 1 ounce. AVDP. Let's just quick talk about this, folks. Copper is not a precious metal, which I guess that means it's not taxed like gold and silver too, right? Interesting. But the AVDP. So we have troy ounces, which is 31.1 grams in gold and silver. But this is, oh man, I can't remember. It's like avoirdupois. All right, whatever. It's French, but it basically means 1 ounce. What is it? 28 ounces, I believe. Something like that. 28 grams. Sorry. Oh my gosh. What else we got in here? This is looks a little worn. Copper 999 fine. Oh, that's if you what? Stockpile antimicrobial copper. COVID-19 molecule. Oh, that's a funny one. I can't remember where I got that, but I think it was at an auction that I won. Okay, if you still collect the copper cents, and remember these are not in production anymore. I think they stopped these in, what was it, like 2018 or so. So these are all Canadian cents. They're not, I think they're not pennies. Yeah, they say cent right there on them. And so there's a mix of 61s. I think there's some late 60s in there as well, but these are all somewhat BU. And the cool part is these are 98% pure copper. So almost pure as like this stuff over here, but that's one of the only coins I've seen that's 98% pure. So I definitely had to pick up some of those. Speaking of pure, one thing that I did manage to grab, oh, look at that. A beautiful stack. Look at that. We got to get these on display here. Oh, they're super shiny. So these are the Aztec coppers from Golden State Mint. There we go. I really need to get a 5-ounce one of these. And what's really cool, so this is the Aztec calendar. And my favorite part is if you cut a hair molecule like cut one of your hair lengths in half, this looks just like one of your hair lengths under a microscope. Pretty cool. I've done my research into this, and this has a lot more secrets than we like to know about. They said that this calendar ended, you know, in what, 2012? That is totally not true. That was going off of a 12-month calendar cycle, but under here, there's actually 13 months because it follows the moon phases. So if you're using 12 months to calculate something on a 13-month calendar, how are they getting a date that the world's ending? Kind of crazy. All right, let's keep going and see what else we got here. There's another round, COVID-19 survivors, 2020 pandemic. Oh, that one's pretty cool. 999 fine, USA. And there's a matching meteorite from Argentina. Just a little chunk of metal in there. Okay, so these are a mix from Grim Metals. And he sent me just kind of a different variety of what they have. So flowing Liberty hair. Here's a, what, St. Gaudens it looks like. Different back. And the buffalo head. Pretty sweet. Different unique pieces for sure. I mean, there's all sorts of random copper pieces out there. I won this one. This one's a Santa Claus one. Oh, and that silver dragons, that's just silver plated. I don't even know if it's copper. It just says it's an alloy. So hard to tell what that one was. Let's see here. What else we got? It's like a Bitcoin round, I think. Yeah. Bitcoin cryptocurrency. They're COVID-19 survivors. I think that's what all these are. Okay, last thing in the box was just 2 titanium rounds. Totally not copper, so let's throw them right back. Okay, so we're kind of coming up on the end of my copper stack. So let me just show everybody what I've been working on. And if you're a coin collector, you should be doing this as well. If you, for instance, go online, you'll find that these are for sale. And they usually charge by the pound. But all of these are copper pennies, so 1982 or prior. And honestly, if you get some pennies, some newer ones, and you just drop them, like on a table, see how the copper has that nice high-pitched ring to it? You could just take regular pennies and you drop them on a table like this, a stone table, and you're just going to hear a dull thud. That Crew Pro nickel zinc, oh, it sounds horrible. Whereas these nice copper ones, very easy to tell. So I've been kind of just doing that using my ears, and then if I can't decide, like if it's really grungy, we'll just go up close, like right there. Look, 1980D. So that is definitely a copper penny. So these are my 3 tubes I've been working on, and yeah, I've got what, 2 of them almost filled, and this 3rd one I'm working on. And yeah, it's just a fun little hobby that I'm pulling them out for now and just starting these extra tubes just to fill them up, because why not? So definitely fun. All right, next I want to show a couple of rocks that have copper in them. We've already seen the blank piece here, but this is my favorite rock. It's the malachite. Some call it malachite. Just depends on your pronunciation of it, I guess. And this gives a great view of what it looks like before it's tumbled. And so here is a raw piece of malachite, and so this is the way they find it out of the ground. And the reason it's green is because it has all of that copper inside of there. And so normally they'll crush this down, you know, put it in like a pedestal, crush it into fine grain, and you'll be able to get that copper right out of there. Isn't that crazy? So something this beautiful with all these patterns can be like this nasty looking just out of the ground. It just needs a little bit of polishing time. All right, so that was a little bit of the rocks, but I want to show now what I have also been working on. And this is a little different, but here we go. So if you shoot pew-pews, which I'm sure most of you do, well, you're probably used to these old school, like I was shooting. This is a Spear Gold Dot. It was used by policemen in the US for many a decades. This is a jacketed hollow point. So you have jacketed copper on the outside, but if you can tell here in the center, this is going to open like a starburst pattern, and it slows down the projectile, so it's not going to go through a bunch of walls probably. At the same time, it doesn't have much stopping power. So I have stopped stacking those, using those for plinking rounds, setting that aside, and instead I am upgrading to something new. And my buddy Pistol Packing Pilot turned me onto these. He told me about them. And this is Underwood ammo, and these are called the Extreme Penetrator. And yes, this entire projectile at the end is pure copper. So they CNC cut the copper, so they are a little pricey, but boy, you want to talk about lightening your carry, holy cow. So not having lead in your magazine here, it's a huge weight savings. And then the test results, if you just try these out, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. The copper, it's magical. It will just penetrate almost anything you would think of within reason. And they do sell larger calibers of these as well. So that's something that I'm doing, just something new. Try it out maybe, folks. But Underwood ammo, and they call that the Extreme Penetrator. All right. Well, thanks so much, everybody, for stopping by. We looked at some silver. We looked at some pennies. Oh, but I forgot to show off the coolest thing. Yes, my actual copper stack. The big one is this. These are seconds from Golden State Mint. If you could look, they'll have a second on it on every one of the coins. Right there, because it didn't pass the quality control. Kind of like we talked about earlier with that thumbprint on there. And one of the best things and best sounds out there is almost 300 ounces. Oh, isn't that awesome? So cool. It's like treasure, pirate treasure. I love it. And remember, guys, this is for my nephews, nieces, and when they come and visit, they pick one out of the pile. It's to get people into stacking. It grows curiosity, and it's great fun. All right, everybody, thanks so much for stopping by. This is Wild West, saying everybody have a good one.
Break out before you get bum rushed.